Hi, everybody. I really wanted to thank everybody for all the support in Reach the Unlimited. As you know, that some changes have been going on in the background. Um, but I really wanted to talk today a little bit about our life and what we want out of our life and how we get there. I know that a lot of you know the backstory of Reach the Unlimited. I started Reach the Unlimited with a thought, and a lot of our dreams come with a simple thought, and some of us act on it, and some of us don't. When I started the whole premise of Reach the Unlimited, it came from thank you, Marcia. You have one that matches pretty close to my scarf. I love this scarf. But I started it because, well, I had a dream of wanting to bring people together. That's always been my focus of Reach the Unlimited. I always have made this or tried to make this a safe space as best that I can. And I really want to grow from that, but I never knew how I was going to get from the start of Reach the Unlimited to what I really saw Reach the Unlimited being. And I know that a lot of us go through this time period, and it becomes very frustrating because you have a dream and you have an idea, but how do you get there? And like me, I was talking the other day. Oh, for all of you that were there, and a lot of you here, Marilyn and Marcia, were on our event, which was my first time doing psychic mediumship in a platform like that by myself. Well, I had Carolyn with me, but it was fantastic. We had a great time. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because that was something that I hadn't really wanted to do, but I started working in it and going, learning about it and practicing it and using it. And all of us are psychics. We just don't realize that we are. We use it every day. We use our gut. We use our intuition. We get that feeling or that thought in the back of our mind, and we trust it or we don't. But to actually come out and use it was really big for me. To actually embrace it and to trust it was really big for me. And so going back to the dream, it's all about that process. It's about learning and taking the steps and trusting that you can go forward with your dream and not getting frustrated. And what I was going to say earlier is I was talking about in that event that we did, how when I first started my journey, and I really have had to work hard at not doing this, is pushing and fighting to get to the top, pushing and fighting to get to where I wanted to be, pushing and fighting to go somewhere, to move in some way. And that's not how we go through life. That doesn't bring us joy, and that doesn't bring us peace when we're doing that. And it was a hard lesson for me to learn, because that's what I learned when I was a kid, about never sitting still, about never being idle, about, I used to be a daydreamer, and that was a bad thing. And, a lot of us have had that training as we go through school and whatnot. But we have these dreams and we want to see them to come into fruition, but we don't always know the road to get there or how to get there. And a lot of that goes back to, I think, self-love and self-respect. And so for me, I really had to work hard at taking one step at a time and not wanting to go from the bottom floor to the roof without taking those stairs. So a part of our I think our path is to have a dream and know what you want out of life, know where you want to go. Because a lot of us know, I have this dream and this is what I want to do with this dream, but how do you get there? And I think one of the biggest lessons I learned also when I was with my family was that sometimes we grow and we don't realize how much we grow, and sometimes we have more to grow in. And I think I learned both of those while I was in Texas. Um, as I was there, I think because I've become more clear about what I want Reach the Unlimited to be and how I want that to be projected, but I really didn't have the support and the oomph behind me to think that I can really do it, even though I did. I know that I know you know what I'm talking about. You have that confidence and you have that stamina to do it. But how do you do it? Can I do it? You have the chatter mind in your head about I can't do it, or I can't do this, or what am I thinking about it, blah, 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 whatever. We have all that chatter in our head, and all of us do that. And so one of the things that became very clear to me while I was there is that we're doing everything that we're supposed to do in the right time. We're doing it in a time that is right for us and right for everybody else that we come in contact with. One of the other things that I really, I think through writing the Kindness Crusader book, and I think going through the experience that I've been going through and trying to really reach the unlimited to what I want it to be, what I can see it to be. I think what I'm being inspired to be was that we have to come from that real centered space of self-love and self-confidence and self-compassion and self-respect. I did a class, which a couple of you guys know and were a part of, about why I say yes when I really wanted to say no. And that comes back to respect. I was listening to a teacher last night talking about how he really didn't know how to to receive what people were given to him. And it made me very sad because I was the same way. I didn't know how to receive. I could give and give and give. I could do for other people, but I couldn't take it in myself. And some of you that are here, my buds, really helped me and went through the process to understanding that receiving is a part of our life, is a part of what we're here for. It's a part of our learning experience. And when we're not being able to receive help, then we're closing ourselves down to other things that we can actually learn from, or ideas that we could come up with, or directions that we can go. And I think that that's a big part of self-love. It's a real big part of being who we are, is being able to receive. And so, and I know that's still hard for me to do, is to receive, but it's actually, if you think about it, it's a way of controlling. It's a way of protecting and guarding yourself against other people coming in and hurting you, or what you think would be making you do something that you don't want to do. Or there's so many negatives to why, it's basically, it's a guard, it's a protection around us when we can't receive. It also is taking from the other person their gifts of being able to help you, being able to support you, being able to maybe show you things that you didn't know. It's when you close that door, then you're shutting yourself off to many more gifts. So I think one of the biggest things that I have seen over the past couple of weeks, where I've had this downtime and I've had the time to be with my family, is self-love is so much more deeper than I think we give it credit, or what we really understand, because we're not taught that usually, as we are going through life. We're not taught about how important self-love is. And I think that's a lot of the problems of what happens in our society. The fact that we can't stop and love who we are, all parts of us. And I was talking with a friend of mine the other day about, we have these emotions of fear, we have emotions of anger, and we feel bad about it because we feel like we have to be these perfect people doing these perfect things. And we're not going to be, because a part of what we're here for is to be a human and to have a human experience, and to fail and to win and to be sad and to be happy. And I feel like sometimes we feel like we have to be happy all the time, or we have to be successful all the time. Now, I know that there's that fine line between what we think we create. If you're not thinking in a positive way, if you're thinking in a negative, that's what you're going to create. I was in a meditation the other day, and I was really contemplating fate, and how fate is so used. I think even, in society, that's meant to happen, that's going to happen, or whatever. But fate really is it's a reaction to a thought process that we had, and the thought process that we had caused an action, and that action caused a chain, and that chain goes right into a fate. So I feel like fate is always fluctuating. It's always moving based on our choices, because we have free choice in this world. We have a free choice to honor and respect ourselves, to live our lives, to do it in a way that, we're at, or how we feel at the moment. But with that comes consequences, and that's where fate comes in. And so I feel like fate kind of gets a bad rap. Well, that was meant to happen. I think I was having a conversation with somebody who said, the universe is against me. The universe is making this happen to me. The universe is causing this to happen and I don't want it. And I told the universe I didn't want it. And that's where your thought, what you think you create. So if you tell the universe, I don't want this, the universe hears what you're saying, not that you don't want it, because it's hearing what you're talking about. And so I told that person, but you are the universe. You're the one who's creating this environment around you. You're the one in control of that. And the person that I was talking to didn't really like what I was saying because they didn't want to be where they were at. And I get what the process is in that. I've lived it. When you think about what's going on in your life, you have to ask the question, why is this happening? And a lot of that has to do, again, with fate. Where do you put your thoughts? Where are you putting your energy? Where are you putting your emotions? I feel like we don't take seriously enough our thoughts and our ideas and the things that we want out of life and how we want to get there. I know when I started Reach the Unlimited, I had no idea. I mean, seriously, a lot of you know from the beginning, I woke up one day and said, I think I'm going to do these Facebook Lives. I didn't know where it was going to go. I know in my life that I have a passion about bringing people together. I really have a passion right now, and I really see the end result more clearly about what it was I was trying to do, because I have this passion about bringing people together and helping people and showing people that you have power yourself to get to where you want to be or where you need to be. You already have it inside of you, but sometimes we forget that and we're not tapping into that. And so we're looking outside of ourselves for somebody to make us happy or someone to make something change in our life, when we have the control and we have the power ourselves every day, every moment, to change something that's in our lives. And I know that with what's going on in the world and the stresses and our thought patterns, our old beliefs, all of those things create what it is that we're doing now, or what it is that how we see life or what we want out of life. And sometimes that's really hard to break away from. That's really hard to change. And it's something that you have to be aware of a lot of the time about, what am I thinking? What direction am I going? The other side of that, though, I feel, is sometimes you have to give yourself compassion, because we are going to have those times where we are human and we're going to be overloaded. We're going to be, frustrated. We're going to be whatever that emotion is. You cannot bury that emotion. You have to let that emotion flow through you. You have to, like I was talking to, I talk to a lot of people. I was talking with someone the other day as well about a feeling that I was having, trying to express in an example of something. And that person stopped me and said, wait a minute, you have that feeling for a reason. Let's go deeper and figure out what that feeling is about. Why is that feeling there? What's it based on? And so as I took note to what she had told me, I went into that feeling and realized that it was an old belief system that I had, an old belief system that I have to prove that I'm a better person. I have to prove that I'm a good person. I have to prove that I can do what I do. And that's all coming from my childhood. It's all coming from my belief system that I'm not enough, that I'm not good enough. All of us feel that, and all of us face that. Even if we go forward with power or with ideas or with strengths, we all go back to that place where we doubt and where we have fear. And that's when we have to go into, why am I feeling that way? And what can I do to change that? What is the core to that emotion? What is the core to that feeling that's coming through that's keeping me from doing what it is that I want to do? So with that, I think that we embrace ourselves and have self-love. And a part of that, again, is all of our, our past beliefs. It's sad to say that, I've come a long way in self-love. I didn't love myself. If you read my story in the Kindness Crusade book, I really didn't have love for myself. And it's something that I've had to really learn. It really is, I think, important for us to acknowledge the fact that we have so many things around us that help us to not love ourselves. I was watching the something about Adele the other day about how much criticism. She's such a talented singer, and everybody's more focused on her body. Everybody's more focused on how she looks and the creation that she creates, or the beautiful music that she brings to life. And unfortunately, that's so much a part of our society. And for me, it's about self-image. I have a lot of issues. I was journaling the other day and brought up a lot about my childhood and the way that I was looked at by my mom, and how early it was for me to learn to not love my body and to not love who I am. And so part of my problem is to hide through food, and which I've talked about before, about emotional eating and how we eat our emotions. We can't really just be who we are because we're so judged about we didn't do something right, or we didn't do it in a way that somebody else, would agree upon. But the thing that really is important here, and one of the biggest topics that I wanted to cover, is don't give your power away. Don't give your power to somebody else. Just because somebody thinks something about you does not make it true. And that's another thing I learned while I was with my family. Not that my family was bad. I had a good time with my family and I love my family. But when you're with your family, you can really learn a lot of things about life. But for me, it's about honoring and respecting who you are, and not letting anybody else take that power from you. Not that we don't listen to what people say, not that we don't hear what's going on around us so we know whether, we're really off track or not. But we so quickly give our power to somebody else about the beliefs that they have, all coming from their perceptions as well. Everybody's working from their own perceptions in their own life. And if we trust that, then we're believing their theories, or believing their ideas, or believing their past, not our own. But we, each and every one of us, are here to have our own human experience and to trust that. And you can't live through somebody else's experience. You have to live through your own. Anyway, I wanted to come back to really honoring who you are. Don't give your power away. When you go to a mentor, when you go to a teacher, when you go to anybody who you look to for help, you're going with an open mind for you to decide what works for you from that information. You don't give that power to that person to tell you what it is you should do with your life or how your life is going to be, because they can only give you as much information as they see in your energy now, not the choices that you're going to make. And you can change your directory in life just by the choices that you make. So never give your power away to anybody. You are here to make choices to live the best life you can through the filters of your own eyes and through the filters of your own experience. And that's what you're here to do, to learn from those filters. So keep your power. Don't give it to anybody. You can listen. If you listen to your gut, if you listen to that inner guidance, and you know it's true, you know what you can take from that information, and you know what you need to let go of. So never give your power away to anybody. I think that's very important. And I know when I first started my journey, I did give my power away a lot to people, and it really did slow me down because it was from their projection, not from mine. And so I have to go for my own projection, not from anybody else's. And I just really love being able to share. And I know that in my past, I think through starting Reach the Unlimited, I brought guests on, which I love to do. It's my favorite thing to do, not stopping that. But it was a way of hiding as well. So I need to do more of coming out and really showing what it is that I'm about. And, a lot of you don't even know what I do because I'm helping other people, which I love doing. I love doing that. But that's what I wanted to share with you all, because it's a part of, I think, a lot of our hiccups in life. And we know what we want. We don't know how we're going to get there, and that's okay. It's a matter of each day taking a step to the direction that you want to go. Each day, whether you're having a monkey mind day or not, you don't give up. You just keep going forward. You keep learning, and you keep doing what brings passion to you. Don't forget the passion that you have in your life. Don't forget the things that actually keep you going.